Do you know what 3, 2, 1 means? Okay, let's start this again.
No, that's a perfect
I'm
start.
going to let you know something. I'm going to go ahead and read the
Great
intro.
start.
to
I
start
don't
it.
even know if I'm recording.
Unfortunately, I wasn't recording. Okay.
Hi, I'm Drayton Allen, and this is the Funny Science Fiction Podcast, where science is our middle name, but don't expect to learn anything.
This week's episode, we're going to be talking about what we're going to talk about because we don't know what we're going to talk about yet on the show because we haven't talked about it. So, after much soul searching, we did decide one thing, that we're going to entitle this week's program Embarking on the Planet of Podcasts.
Why is it called embarking? I mean, it's the point of that. Like, what are
Shouldn't
we?
it be
We're not on a
disembarking?
ship.
Well,
We're going to be disembarking. Exactly.
so-
That's what
right.
we're
Well,
embarking,
but when
we
you're
can
leaving
get
on a
on.
mission, you're embarking. When you get off on the planet, you're disembarking, right? So, I
Do we
guess
get dogs?
there's a lot of barking going on.
That's all I want to know is do we get dogs?
Well,
Mr.
What do you mean, do we get dogs?
Well, dogs were the first ones in space. So,
I mean, I don't care if we embark or we disembark as long as there's a puppy along the way.
Oh, what's the podcast about?
Like, what if we did like a
I'm
dog
pretty sure the
giveaway,
last dog died.
and then someone in our
the first
Facebook
dog died.
group received a dog every podcast, like without us even letting them know. We
Free
just mailed them a
puppies.
dog.
I'm sure
Yeah, I
PETA
think-
would approve.
free puppies to any guest. Free puppy.
It's okay. They were already on the outside.
Saint Bernard.
Anyway. They weren't.
We just became PETA's favorite number one thing.
We should send them a hot dog instead. Just an actual dog.
Right?
They were sending people dogs.
Okay, so what should our show be about, guys? I mean,
Sending
we
people
need to
dogs
decide.
with some
Other
tanks.
than dogs in space.
It's just us going to the pound and like mailing people animals, and then just recording there how they work.
Can we send them a package of Tang too? Because that's what astronauts.
That would tie it back into the space.
Well, that's what I was gunning for.
I thought citrus was bad for dogs, though.
Well, don't give it to the dogs. That's for the people.
So the dog astronauts didn't get Tang?
I just realized I've never
What's the
seen a
point?
dog eat an orange. My whole
Well,
life. I've
Is this
never
a
watched-
need? Is this a need?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't
That's
think
what
Dave
Toast
was
is getting when I get home.
Your dog's name is Toast?
Yeah, we are.
I think PETA really wants to talk to you now, Tim.
Well, we had to quit calling her by her first name, Burnt.
Burnt,
Oh.
yeah. Oh,
Bert, Peter.
Don't you mean her name would be Anakin Skywalker?
That's
right. Yeah.
She has the low. Well,
Okay,
that would
guys,
make
so-
sense because her legs are about this long. She does have the low ground.
Don't do it, Toast. I have the high ground.
You know, they
Which
say
franchise are we going to talk about other than Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, Stargate,
Ooh, I love Stargate.
Muppets in Space?
Beats, Bears, and Battlestar Galactica.
I feel like Muppets in Space would have been a better sequel to the Star Wars franchise than what we currently have. Just Gonzo going to town on someone with a lightsaber. I don't know.
Gonzo versus Yoda.
Happy I'm a king, bro.
Versus Yoda. Yoda wasn't in the sequels.
He is now Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda.
I is Star Wars now.
He's kind of Muppet anyways, isn't he? I mean, he doesn't have the fur, but
Yoda is a Muppet.
Yoda
He
was a Muppet.
He was a Muppet, so we do have a connection there.
We do.
Right.
See?
They're all science fiction.
Okay,
Jim Henson.
I will concede The Last Jedi to Nick's point, or Nate's point rather, but
Nick hasn't made a point yet.
I did
Well-
enjoy the last one. I did enjoy the last one.
I liked Force Awakens. I like The Rise
Force?
of Skywalker, the Force Awakens.
Oh, it was
I
forced.
like
That's what
it was forced in some respects. So and I liked Rise of Skywalker.
Oh,
The Last Jedi. As soon as Leia Mary Poppins out of that ship, I was done.
That is where they lost you.
That is
where they lost you. I was gone way before that.
I was on the fringe, but that was what Das booted me out of the movie.
I got a great idea. How about we tell people who we are? Oh,
Now you're taking all the fun out of it.
That was your mom's
I know.
idea. That was your mom's idea.
Oh, well, since it was her idea, I better not.
Yeah, my name's not even on the screen.
What's going on?
And what I mean by that is,
So are you Drayton? Is he Drayton and you're Alan then? Is that
I'm
how we're
Drayton.
doing?
He's Alan.
No,
Drain and Ellen?
Drayton Ellen.
Ellen.
Are you guys
That's
like
a
a
different
celebrity
talk show.
couple? And we
That's
have
a
to
different
like
talk
combine
show.
the names?
Are we what?
Are you guys like a celebrity couple? We have to combine the names. Are you like Drallin?
Yeah, Drellen.
Alan.
Drellin?
No, I'd be Deb.
DeBellin.
Brangelina.
Alan.
Dre Debon.
Drayton and Deb. Alan.
So,
Dre.
all right. I think we should like definitely rip off things from other franchises. So, in our podcast, we need to do things that rip off. So, since we're not talking about anything, this could be the show about nothing.
I don't know. That's a little.
Like
So this is the
Seinfeld?
this is the
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld episode.
That's a Seinfeld ripoff. Yeah.
Let's start
No
this.
science fiction for you.
No
start with,
the science fiction Nazi.
We're putting the pirate suit right on there, and just ripping things off. But I don't want to be a pirate.
I didn't.
I don't want to be a
I
pirate.
didn't want to be a space pirate.
White shirt.
Do you guys remember the movie Ice Pirates?
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
I
do.
can never forget those jaws. Clam, clam.
That's like the
clam.
only scene I remember of that whole movie.
Right? Well,
I tried to forget most of it, including that.
Well, we've got all of
baseball,
them.
of course.
If we all had a flip phone, we could pretend like we're using 1990s technology and we're all in Star Trek. So.
Scotty.
Yeah. Right. Except for like that we're using Zoom or like actually advanced recording software.
They don't know that.
Well, they know that now. Way to give away our secrets there, Bread
Oh my
Replicate.
God.
All right, cue the Men in Black. Majig.
Yes.
Actually, we need to use that every time we make a mistake on the
believe it's
podcast.
called a neuralizer, by the way.
Instead of editing, we've decided just to slip in the Men in
Yes.
Black
If
neuralizer.
you
Right.
notice a
Right.
bright flash during the program,
We had
be
that.
alarmed.
We had that gift.
You have your little screwdriver.
Yeah, so we'll just
Screwdriver?
insert that now into the podcast.
Are you in Doctor Who now?
There we go. All right, wonderful. Now you all have forgotten.
So we've stolen a screwdriver from Doctor Who.
I do have the early predecessor of the sonic screwdriver. This, before it became cordless, they had the corded
It's a
screwdriver.
corded screwdriver.
The DC or AC?
This was the
It's the AC version. AC/DC, if you will.
it was.
It was, and if
Yeah.
you leave it plugged into the wall, it can become thunderstruck.
It could, yeah. So
Oh,
just in
goodness.
You'll
case
become
we have it.
thunderstruck.
I never made that connection before.
You're welcome.
Thank you. My life, I feel so much more complete as a human.
Yeah.
I mean, a person, not a human.
What are you boys talking about? But stealing stuff from other franchises is classic humor because this is a show about funny science fiction. So
Yes.
Instead of stealing, it's more like research.
yeah,
We're
it's
gonna
research.
have-
It's applied research. Look at
I-
Spaceballs. They stole everything in there because it was a parody. That's what makes it funny.
Baseball, they stole my idea of hitting balls with sticks. And
Yeah.
people running around in circles.
It's just really hard to pet.
And golf.
That's my idea.
Right? Well, baseball and golf are pretty much the same thing. They're all sports
Oh,
with
We should have famous people from science fiction come on the show, but we won't get famous people, but almost famous.
I just love how Tiger Woods is just like rolling over.
What do you,
Almost
when
said
you
rolling
think
over
about
his
it,
screen.
a huge percentage of sports is just ball and stick.
well,
Some of them,
huge-
some of
I
them
love-
were like, you know
okay.
what? Let's not
Football
get stick.
and soccer would strongly disagree.
No,
But that's
your leg is
stealing.
just the stick.
Okay,
we need to steal from the IT crowd. We need to steal from the IT crowd.
Soccer is golf
They were great.
with your leg instead of a club.
so what you with that logic, all sci-fi is spaceships and aliens.
What?
You just said
No,
it's all
well-
it is balls and sticks or whatever. And it's like, well, in that logic, all sci-fi is aliens and spaceships.
True.
He's
Oh, you're not entirely wrong.
There's not always aliens.
Is Spock your favorite job?
There's not always
All that
sticks.
logic.
Sometimes there's shins.
You're being very
Vulcan,
vulcanizing.
you're being very Vulcan right now.
You're vulcanizing the conversation.
You're being very logical.
Are we going to use it? Is that going to be our version of a swear word? You're being such a Vulcan.
Okay, you don't have to, like, a guest is on, you don't have to be a Vulcan about it. Just talk
Yeah.
about it. Like, just
Vulcan.
it's so
It's
Vulcan.
like you can say like vulgar, Vulcan.
Yeah. Don't be so vulgar.
So
Now, with all of us like randomly drinking here, it's kind of like, hey, what are they drinking? I don't know.
I'm definitely not drinking cinnamon schnapps.
Am I the only one with a green cup at this point?
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much. That's
I don't
mother.
have a cup. I have a water bottle.
Well, Dad has a green cup, but
I have
different.
an invisible green cup.
He's drinking from the void.
You've been switching between
So-
Brennan.
At some point here, we should probably talk about when to break this to do our little bit.
We have a bit.
A bit.
There's a bit. A bit. A bit. A bit. A bit. A
Uh,
bit.
Guys, I'm from the year 2030. Like 10 years from now, Reddit has turned into a police force and has started hunting people down for reposting memes and crap. And
Mostly on crap, though.
You said Reddit did it?
unfortunately, yeah, 10 years from now, our podcast becomes wildly popular. Unfortunately, we're getting sued massively, so I just want you guys to calm down a little bit about stealing stuff from other things.
So
What?
do we have to worry about Skynet?
I mean, the big three companies are coming after it: Google, Microsoft, Playtex.
Latex?
Okay.
Really?
Latex?
what?
Women's products have become very lucrative after the aliens came and took all the men away.
What?
Well, I mean, the moon
Yeah.
landing operation is. You know what? As I think about this, I probably shouldn't be. I could be destroying the space-time continuum by telling you all of this.
Well, wait a minute. Isn't aliens taking the most viral and manly men
Well,
from
they-
Earth
they-
more important to warn us about than the mean police?
None of you were ever in any danger.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. Well. All right.
Well, I probably should get going. My time machine booth time's almost up.
Time machine booth?
Yeah, I mean, like all the fairs nowadays have them, so it's all messed
Then
up. But
why aren't we being visited by people from the future all the time?
the podcast wasn't that successful.
Oh,
It wasn't like a Bill and Ted thing where,
we didn't read about world peace for this podcast? Are you kidding?
yeah. So,
Well, I guess 2020 isn't the year to really travel back to, right?
Yeah, who would pay money?
yeah, don't. Yeah, this is not
so why
definitely
did
a
you
popular
come
year
back
to travel.
Here.
I told you, because we're getting sued. Don't
Oh.
lay off the Playtex jokes.
Okay.
Well, I guess I have to get going now.
Ah, where did Mr.
Hey, guys,
Bender call?
That's weird. He's gone. That was odd.
It'd be
Should we
more
take this
convincing if
advice?
you made a thud.
Hey
when you
guys,
hit
I
the
just
floor.
came back from grabbing a snack.
Yeah, you came back from the future to warn us.
Hey, thanks for that warning, Marty.
He
Yeah.
said keep that money to get you in a phone booth or something.
What
Yeah.
are you guys talking about?
No, I mean, really. I mean, do you really believe that the mean police are going to come back are going to get us in 2030?
Is
I mean,
anybody else singing the song from Cheap Trick, The Dream Police, but replacing it with Mean Police right now? Because I
Yeah.
sure am.
That's-
I love how Nick jumps into this party bird thing.
Well, I mean, if only one of us warned us, how bad could that be? You know?
Right. I love that logic. If no one comes back in time to stop you from doing it, how bad
Right.
could it have
How
been?
bad?
And
really?
if only one guy
How bad
comes back
can it be?
in time, if only one guy comes back in time to warn you, how bad
Right.
can it be? It couldn't be. It's a little
Right.
bit worse, but not
Unless it
really
was
that-
Doctor Who, then you're probably
Right.
fine.
Well,
If he comes back with a wireless version of Drayton's screwdriver, then we're all in trouble.
I just, it could be a copyright infringement, I guess. There is that chance.
Ah, but not if you make it Dr. How instead.
Doctor Who.
Yeah, that
Whom.
sequel never really took off super well. The Doctor Whom sequel.
The Doctor Whom.
It was
just goes
slightly
around
more
and-
successful than Dr. Wen.
Yeah, but I
Dr.
don't-
Wen objectively makes more sense.
You know,
but sounds
tell
so
me
much
how.
worse.
I really don't think Playtex is going to send stormtroopers or robots back in time to kill us. Okay, I just am not.
Right.
buying that.
Right.
I
Wait a
feel
minute.
like
Okay, wait a minute.
What's
I
up?
just saw from,
Terminator?
that was the
That's
Terminator,
Yeah,
right?
whatever
Okay,
you
so
do,
now
don't make
now
it.
they're going to get us.
Although it would be interesting if stormtroopers came back.
They're like
But,
Elon
but we'd
Musk.
be safe. We'd
Elon
be safe.
Musk is actively
they're
building
far away.
Skynet, so let's be careful.
They can't aim.
Skynet, yeah.
Yeah, technically, we're like a week away from Skynet kicking in anyway.
Actually,
So-
I wonder, is there like a doomsday clock for countdown to Skynet?
There should be, because it technically
Well-
goes active in 8 days.
There's a
It's-
general doomsday
It
clock.
started here in 2020 if it did, so, you know.
didn't
Yeah.
you read the Mayan calendar, Nick? It's
August-
2012. That's when it
August.
started.
Well, the Mayans were dyslexic, so technically it's 2021.
Oh, I did hear that joke. That's pretty funny.
It's
Yeah.
good.
They're like,
Or they wrote backwards like Hebrew, you know.
yeah, there you
Right.
go.
We were reading it the wrong way.
Right to left. One of the questions that one of our readers sent in, they were really curious to know about what was like the worst job that we ever had in high school.
In high school.
One guy paid me like $20 to clean out like his entire house. He like just like, I walked in, he pointed to the dumpster in the driveway and just said, "I want all of it in the dumpster." He like went through like this like messy divorce, and I'm like the whole day I'm just sitting there like, oh, I have to like just move this guy into a dumpster now.
Was that his new apartment?
No, but I think he went through like a messy divorce or something. But it was.
Did he
super
call it
late
a
in the
TARDIS
winter.
by chance?
No, it was blue.
They are kind of like a
You know
mobile
what
home.
When I walked into the dumpster, it was really strange how large it was. It just seemed.
Much more. It looked much bigger on the inside.
Bigger
than
on the
now.
inside, yeah.
That was one of the biggest reasons why Dr. Wen just didn't work out.
Exactly.
Yes. It's just a spinning dumpster through space, just lands somewhere. Like, get away! Like, why are you here?
Oscar the Grouch pops out.
Yes, Oscar the Grouch is not
First
right.
off, wouldn't trouble it. Yeah.
Going back to our puppet theme.
But you stole my idea.
Doctor,
Yeah.
the next Doctor morphs, and he just like turns into Oscar.
All right.
Like, oh no.
I think my worst job in high school was probably there was an older guy who would pay me to literally
And
just
you.
clean up sticks off
In the
of
forest, he
the
cleaned
forest
us.
floor.
He paid us $6 an
Clean
hour
our forest.
$6 an hour to legit
out
pick
of
up sticks.
the forest.
We ended up not doing the job anymore because as he was driving us home,
Always drinking
he
drive.
just cracked open a beer and was just drinking a beer while driving us home without a seatbelt on and talking to us kids and like not
He's
looking.
like, hey, yeah. So like,
And we're like, Mom,
That's just
Don't
being economical. He's just
let
being
him-
economical with his time.
yes. Hey, Tim, I don't think there's any side in which agreeing with drunk driving is going to win you points.
No, it's not. Clearly.
I worked at a prosthetics shop where they would I'd have to wrap the stump molds.
Oh, I forgot you.
I mean, and then they would cast them with the silicone padding and stuff, but my job was to reinforce them with plaster of Paris.
How
And
old were you?
I was like 16, I think. And there was a big guy who was about 400 pounds, and his name was Tiny, of course. Nice guy,
You can't have
Great
any
guy.
other name if that's your stature.
right? And so, wrapping amputee stumps. I mean, I never saw the people. I didn't interact with the people.
And I'm sure they say
know.
thank you.
And just to make it a comfortable experience for them with their prosthetic limbs.
Make it
That was an unusual
very-
job.
Just
It
think
wasn't
about
the
it.
Worst one.
Just think about it this way: if they ever gotten into an argument, you gave them a leg to stand on.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's true. Here's the thing. If I lost a leg, you would bet I would be the first one making those type of jokes constantly, and to everyone else,
Right.
sheer discomfort. And to me would be unendingly funny, and my wife would just be like rolling her eyes the entire time.
Right. So
You guys hear that comedian who was sneaking a 2-liter of pop down his pant leg? And he was like, he
Ah,
walked in, and
perfect.
he was like, it was just swinging around, knocking kids over.
That's right.
Oh my goodness.
Like he was pretending the soda was a stump.
Right?
Yeah.
You suspect. Even if you suspect that he's smuggling soda, who is going to ask? Who is going to be like, excuse me, sir?
Probably TSA, but
Can I see that?
Someone's got to tell his dad.
all right, Tim, what was your worst job?
Well, it's split 50-50. It could be the dishwashing job I had at a restaurant locally here by my hometown. I hated it. To this day, I refuse to wash dishes. I've washed since I've gotten married. I think I've washed dishes all 3 times that my wife has given birth, because that just seemed fair.
It's like, all right, you're going through that.
All right, you did that. I can do this.
I could
That seems
wash a
fair.
couple plates.
But then we had kids and a dishwasher, and so I didn't really need to.
You had kids in a dishwasher?
Well, that one must have been hard to come out.
There's some stains that you gotta get aggressive with.
Not a lot of room in there for that.
When my wife gives birth, I'm just buying paper plates.
There you go, baby. I bought you the bestest chinette. And then the other one is I worked at a grocery store back in the days where, before these robotic, can acceptors.
Container? Okay.
Oh.
Containers. I used to have to count all the bottles that when they came in, and
1932.
Yeah, it was the 1990s. Half the times people bring in their bottles in, but they weren't empty, and and they bring them in plastic bags, and you get other people's soda on your hands, and it was that was the absolute stickiest floor. That it was just disgusting. That
It was like a Denny's bathroom.
A Denny's main floor. It wasn't even
Denny's, not even the bathroom at a Denny's.
It's like a Waffle House at 2:00 in the
It's
afternoon.
a Waffle House floor.
We decided to stop cleaning it. We're just going to starch it now.
You just run with it.
Right, the floor slowly grows.
Throw a little. Yeah, they keep raising the
Start.
level of the floor.
Nick,
It's so bouncy. I don't know why.
Nick.
What?
Nick.
What?
What was your worst job?
You guys, I don't even know. Like, I think all I did was do a paper route. So I'm like, your guys.
Blotted it out?
Yeah, I never really had a worse job as far as.
Where'd you work after the paper route? Yeah, you were a cart pusher, but you enjoyed that way too much, more than a normal person should.
How about you just tell us about your big accident at the shop?
I'm waiting.
Shop.
Oh.
What shop?
Kind of.
Oh.
Like, leave as many details as you'd like out. But
What? I don't remember this. Is this
totally
like graphic
crashed
shop?
an ambulance into the garage.
I'm sorry. What?
Well, like
did.
backing it up. It, like
You
just
worked
took
at
out the
the-
garage door.
Like bars and things.
Don't tell where it was.
You want to know something incredibly funny about that, Nick? Is I remember when I was starting driving you, I remember you saying these words to me. What?
Hey,
Those words.
What? Do you look behind you when you back up or something? And now you tell me years before you had that job that you smashed an ambulance through a garage door and yet still maintain that thought process afterwards.
So to be fair, it was mostly open, and I just skimmed.
It's
the
mostly
bottom.
open.
I'm sorry, Judge. It was mostly open, so I really don't think I should have to pay the fine.
like mostly dead.
It was mostly green.
I only ran over the guy's leg. I missed most of them.
Right. He was mostly out of the way.
Like mostly dead?
Yes. I'm only mostly dead.
Come back in a moment. It'll be stone open.
I feel like I could go for a spry walk.
You're not fooling anybody.
Fooling anybody? Keep cracking.
I guess that's not science fiction, but
Close enough.
close enough.
So,
Monty Python.
Maybe we just change our name to
We talk about
Guys Who
stuff.
Just Talk.
We
I didn't
talked
really
Well-
have a job in high school.
We talk
No.
about stuff.
Like
We throw
kids.
science fiction in.
That wasn't a job.
Yes, it's mostly funny science fiction.
No, I mean, I will say the point
Kind of funny science fiction.
Kind of, sort of, around some funny science fiction.
The point, though, is that we're going to be interviewing people with sci-fi backgrounds. So right now, we're really just here introducing ourselves, talking about fun stuff, etc.
Mm-hmm.
But really, we're going to be interviewing a lot of really cool people in the sci-fi world, from authors to actors to writers to, I don't know if are authors and writers the same thing? Kind of.
Guys, you skipped Mom's job.
Screenwriters, voice actors.
You know.
Yeah, so it's going to be a heck of a ton of fun to get their input on our conversations and et cetera, and talk about some fun sci-fi stuff.
I think we need to go round table two, just real quick, introduce everybody, and kind of introduce us by means of our bios, who we are, what we are.
I don't have a bio, guys. Were we?
Well, you're gonna have to do that on
We
the
wrote
fly.
one
There.
for you.
We did write one for you. Yep.
Yeah.
You are the shadow boss.
Apparently, I'm a time traveler.
You are for the means of this. For this episode, yes, you are the time traveler.
Better than being a time
Tim,
traveler.
why don't you read them?
Well, I'm trying to find him in Slack. I'm not.
I got them if you want me to read them.
After that time travel bit, I'm actually kind of concerned we're breaking copyright law. I don't know. I don't think we are.
Well, we can just do the MIB flash. That seems to be working out for us. So
Right.
far.
And all of Disney's lawyers will be like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, they're cool with it.
They're cool.
You know what? I
I'm
respect
sure they're talking about
they're,
this.
like, they're just like game respect game. Game respect game.
They're gonna be like, it was just a mild plagiarism. It's no big deal.
Yeah, we'll get shut down because of fake news, though, instead.
I think the worst thing that happened to me is a job in high school while we're waiting for the bios.
Yes.
I worked at an elementary school doing after-school programs, and the gymnastic teacher was no longer available, so I had to fill in
Oh.
to little kids doing gymnastics, which was fun. But when you teach a little kid who hasn't pottied yet to flip and your hand goes right on their,
Squish.
yeah, it was not fun.
Explosive decompression?
Yes.
Did enjoy teaching them gymnastics though, but
That's
not
not.
that part.
But she
And that
did-
was before
And
the.
she had no
yeah.
certification for it either. You know.
Yeah, it was.
Yes.
It was a
It was a
violation.
fill-in for
Right. All right, Timmy.
Nowadays it'd be a violation.
Kind of like School Rock, where the music teacher, the history teacher doesn't show up. What is it, English or history? I don't know.
Yeah.
And then he just turns
Yeah, I
it
can do
into
this.
a rock
Yeah, this
band
is fun.
class. Yeah, this
Right.
is cool.
I can do this. No
Following
big
the
deal.
curriculum? I just imagining mom up there just like, no, honey, it's good. Yeah, just jump. You do a flip.
Yeah.
He's running around with a potty when the kid's
Aren't
up
they
on the rope.
supposed to tighten the nets? Isn't this supposed to be secured before they do the high wire?
It's fine.
Yeah, just grab the
It was
stick and balance.
It was floor gymnastics, so there was no.
Hold
high-
on. I'm going to move a pad on the floor. You'll be fine. Don't worry
You'll
about
just
it.
be fine. Like when we were in elementary school. All right, I want you to climb the rope to the top of the 7-story gym.
Yeah.
The gym teacher's like, let's just put the pad on it.
We have a 1-inch
That'll be
foam
fine.
pad to catch you. Don't worry.
It'll be totally okay.
Tuck and roll, buddy. Tuck and roll.
I can't believe they let us do that.
It's not like you can climb to the top of the ceiling anyway, so.
You guys,
Wow.
There was a couple kids who did, man.
Yeah.
Well, then there's nothing to worry about. They're fine. It's the kids who can barely make it.
I
Yeah,
made
and
it
I'm
to
not
the top.
against it, but it's like, it was a different time.
I
I'm not
made it to
against
the
it,
top
but I'm
time.
clearly not for it.
I was one of the kids that make it up all the way to the top.
You would be. I love you for that too.
Specifically.
Oh, it was the knotted rope.
I was the kid who had no arm strength, and he was like,
Yeah, so how did you guys meet? Well, once I knew she climbed that rope, she climbed the rope to my heart.
yeah. Well, I if I ever got
That's-
stuck in a burning building and the only way out was climbing the rope, I was jumping on her back. I had the woman of my dreams.
Or whatever.
You shimmy up that cord, sweetie. You go for it.
You do it. You do it.
I'll have you know
I'm
I
going.
married you for this purpose alone.
All right, let's not bore people with our stories. Let's use theirs.
So the bios. Where did we find
Can't find
bios?
them.
Yeah, I got them.
They're a little lengthy. Why don't we just go around
Where
and
are
say
they?
our names?
I'm Drayton Allen. I am the host of the show and the reason for 3 of these people being here, along with my wife. And these are my sons, and this is our friend Tim. I am a science fiction writer.
I was confused for a minute.
4 full-length science fiction works of books, novel type things. You know, what are they called? I don't know. They used to come in paper. Now they're on
Electronic.
Writer thingies.
writer thingies. And so,
Handy dandy
as well as a number of things, I've done stuff, won awards, had fun, been to Comic-Con, signed books, you know, that stuff. So, anyways, next.
My name's Nate. I
am an alcoholic. No.
I do a lot of things. Yeah, I'm not an alcoholic, thankfully.
Okay, whatever, Captain Schnapps.
Captain. Okay, so you have a little schnapps and you're an alcoholic. It's for my throat. It's for my throat.
It's working good.
Yeah, so my name's Nate.
It affects my sciatica.
My sciatica, it's acting up. Oh, Timmy. I don't even know what sciatica is.
I have no clue either, but I'm sure.
Back.
It's just something the old people say.
It's a pinched nerve in your back, very painful. Don't joke about it.
I think someone took that one a little
Oh,
personal.
no.
Bye.
Are you okay,
It makes my
Dad?
legs tingly sometimes. Anyways,
Ooh, like Spider-Man?
sort of.
So I guess I'll introduce myself. My name's Nate. I'm married. I like long walks on the beach. I've done sales and marketing.
Wrong
for a
site,
large
wrong
number-
site.
Oh, yeah.
On file.
This is the
Profile.
Funny Science Fiction Podcast, not Tim.
Oh! I am a Star Wars enthusiast. I will very readily complain about Star Wars, the new series, and whine about that they're not more like the book series. I like Stargate a lot, and Star Trek is pretty okay in my book. I like most of it. Yeah, and I just really want to know what tribbles taste like.
The other white meat.
The other.
White meat.
The other.
I'm just imagining a giant baked tribble and like someone slices it. Can I have a little bit of the? Yeah, no, I want the tribble dark meat.
Nick, so aside from Ambulance Crasher,
I think that officially needs to become a thing.
Back her up, Supreme.
Oh.
Do you look behind you when you back up?
I just imagine just hands on the wheel, eyes closed, tightly shut, and then slam on the gas.
thing is not a butcher.
Hope for the best.
It wasn't that
Butcher
bad.
backs up, he can get a little behind in his
A
work.
little behind his dum.
Put-um-pum. Dad
Or
joke.
that
Dad joke alert.
the girl that backed up into the propeller. Did you guys hear about that?
Yeah.
Disaster.
Nate.
My grandma told us that joke.
It's appropriate if Grandma said it.
If grandma says it, it's allowed. I don't think that's how the world works, but
And also, disaster is not a bad word.
disaster is not.
It's not.
That's right.
Even the word ass can refer to a donkey.
Valid.
Mm.
Valid.
I don't think my
Except for
mom was
in-
calling me a donkey when I was a kid.
Oh, jeez.
Well, no moms, man, no moms.
I think Nick should clarify that he was not driving the ambulance with somebody in it.
He was chasing.
Detailing.
Yeah.
He was,
I think that's a good point. People
that's
could
a
have
good
thought
point.
Nick
I mean-
was a qualified EMT for a second there.
Like
But
he-
the reality
he
is
worked at a place,
cutting out graphics.
and he was probably going to wash the ambulance or something. You know? He didn't act, I don't know that they
People
trusted
were like,
him with
this
the-
guy's
All of a sudden, I'm imagining him with a body in the bag in the back,
The poor guy who just lost a leg in the back.
or trying to save time. Like, I got this.
Hey, you can make a prosthetic.
Yes, it's all right.
That would be a much better story. But
Oh, my goodness.
So Nick,
good time.
my
Bio
name's
time.
Nick. I'm probably the reason why the other two of my brothers here are actual nerds.
He takes credit.
I will take the credit for it.
because he was first. Had
First.
nothing to do with their father.
No. Or their own individuality.
Father. Or second cousin twice removed. who
Not
was
have
Darth
individuality.
Vader's roommate.
Everything came from me. I am the source of all
I'm usually
this.
the one that finds the shows, and I'm like, you guys got to watch this. And then they're like, oh, yeah, I love this now.
You have recommended some good stuff in the past, I will say.
Yes.
Yep. Yep. You were big
It
big
was that one
brother.
thing that one time.
You guys remember that one thing that I recommended and it changed our lives?
Great, man.
It was awesome.
It like brought world peace and everything.
But I'll do a lot of the editing and recording and the sound hand. And apparently I've already become the butt of the jokes. So
You guys,
Kind of the straight man.
I'm just imagining like when the show airs, it's like we're all like all of our parts are cut and it's just Nick talking. It's just Nick talking like, so how are you guys doing?
Do you guys ever listen to an episode? No, have you? No. I haven't.
For some reason, he just brings up, I'm really good at backing up cars.
Yeah.
I'm the best at it.
Trusting him with the editing, I think, is a problem.
No, you'll do great, Nick. You'll do great.
Yeah. One thing about Nick is he's a hard worker.
He is.
Until he's not.
All right. Whose bio are we on?
It's all fun and games until someone rams an ambulance into a
Josh or two.
Deb needs to do hers too, so go ahead, Deb.
Deb?
I'm Deb. I'm
Hi,
his
Deb.
wife. I raised 3 boys. We've had fun in science fiction.
3 boys.
3 boys. Did I say 3?
You said 3.
We've all not been able
counting me.
We've learned counting from her, too.
This is all my men and Tim. Tim's not mine.
Sounds like a bad NBC sitcom. All my men and Tim.
Oh, my
Boy,
man.
everyone
And Tim.
And Jim.
and Tim.
Now with 50% more Tim.
This time on Desperate Housewives and Deborah.
With Tim.
You know what they should really do is have
And more
Desperate
Tim.
Housewives and then just put in one really happily married woman just being like, I don't know why you guys are having problems.
These guys are weird. You guys are
What?
bringing this crap
Why are
on
you
yourself.
drinking so
Why
much
is it-
wine?
All right.
Mom,
Bio time.
Mom,
next?
did you have more to go on?
I can't remember what I wrote in my bio.
No, you
Oh,
did
okay.
good.
Who I am.
Hold on, I can read it for you. Deb is a devoted
Surely.
wife of 38 years to Drayton Allen and a mother of 3 adult sons. Always ready for a good laugh and appreciates a true sense of humor. Enjoyed being involved in the interest of our 3 boys and sharing in their games, collections, hobbies, and imaginations. I taught Nick how to back
How
up
do
an
you
ambulance.
share in our
Sci-fi is more enjoyable when mixed with funny.
Mom, how do you share in our imagination? Like, you have this mental link while we're sleeping. Like,
I helped feed the imagination.
You know that whole Vulcan mind melt
You know
thing?
Yes.
The imaginary tiger you have, I fed them at
Your
night.
mind to my mind.
So yes, she was one of the rare supportive mothers. If
Rare
that
support.
in the dictionary somewhere, it's somewhere I think.
Because it rarely happens.
Why is that rare?
Because it rarely happens.
Oh, 'cause it doesn't happen very often. All right.
medium.
Next.
So Tim,
I think that's everywhere.
Okay.
I thought Tim might.
Well, no, I didn't.
no.
I just
Josh, Tim.
mocked everybody else. So, my turn. Well, I'm Tim. I'm just a big kid in an adult body.
Hi,
I always tell
Tim.
people that my wife has 4 children. I have 3. She's got to raise me too. So growing up, I was a huge Star Wars fan. Always loved comic books, superheroes. I run a shirt and merchandise store. That's what I do during the day. When I'm not doing that, I like to play Xbox, watch sci-fi movies and TV shows, and all kinds of nerdy, geeky things on YouTube, and go down each little rabbit hole I find and lose time there. Yeah, just living in Western Michigan, over by Lake Michigan.
I don't think I've seen you watch anything else but Star Wars.
It's my story, Nick. I will tell it how I like. Thank you very much.
No matter how untrue it is.
And
Tim
just
will
this
tell it how he
afternoon,
wants to tell it.
I was watching Star Trek Into Darkness, which is probably closer to Star Wars, but
It's
you know.
probably
still.
closer to Star Wars.
Thanks, JJ.
Hey,
Thanks.
Josh. Josh.
JJ Trek.
JJ Josh.
Shasta.
And before we get to Josh, I just have to say this so all our listeners clearly understand, and I do mean clearly, new Trek is better than old Trek. And I'm done.
Yeah, he's good.
I'm just imagining some guy watching this being like, no!
And that's where we got canceled and people.
Yeah, right. So,
my bio. I owned a field marketing agency for a good hot 3 years, and I also am raising 2 amazing kids along with my beautiful wife. I'm a health and wellness enthusiast. I had lost 100 pounds and a bunch of stuff like that. as a teenager, I was in a lot of plays and things like that, and on stage and doing musicals and etc. So,
Drama nerd.
pretty geeky there. Super geeky in regards psychological profiling, if that's a that's a thing. So I am a Myers-Briggs.
In regards to psychological profiling, like, I bet you're.
There's all kinds of
MSNBC,
TV
aren't
shows
you?
about that.
So basically, I am an ENFPA, according to Myers-Briggs. My Gretchen Rubin tendency is questioner, and my Willie Moulton Marston disc test is ICSD.
Oh, hey, Josh, I just looked at our subscribers and we lost all of them.
I kept waiting for him to be like, wait, put on a pair of glasses and go, and that's where my testing was at.
So yes, I think I'm more of the nerd than the geek in the group. However, I am pretty geeky about a lot of stuff. Love Stargate. I think I love Star Wars and things like that as well. However, I have a garden and some chickens I take care of along with my family. So that's kind of what I enjoy.
I think you'll find with us a certain level of sacrilege when it comes to us enjoying Stargate more than even Star Wars or Star Trek.
Just remember, when we want your opinion, we'll give it to you.
Oh, no.
You will take our opinion and you will like it.
That's
Well, we have eclectic tastes. We'll put it that way.
eclectic.
That's the
Yeah,
best of a good group.
That's what 50-year-old women who are still creating their own plaid drapes say.
We've gone to plaid.
It used to be a tablecloth mod. Look, I made some nice curtains out of it. I don't know why my lady has a smoker's voice.
My name's Bernice. I'll be your waitress today.
We have replicated cat meat. Which is terrible, because if you can replicate anything, why choose cat meat?
Maybe you're a Melmacian.
Oh, there you go.
There is some not unknown, but there's some underappreciated
Alf.
sci-fi right there.
Exactly.
I would love to
Alf.
see an Alf Doctor Who crossover. Sure. Like, I would love to see him be the next doctor's assistant.
Dr. Alf.
I didn't say
Right?
he should be the doctor.
Dr. Al.
Well, we talked about Muppets earlier, and I think Alf is kind of an honorary Muppet.
He
could have been in
qualifies.
Star Wars.
He's not a Muppet. He's
He
got
could
a
have
human
been.
in
He
him.
could have been.
Now,
Oh, yeah, Mom's right. Mom's right. He's
you
technically
only
not a
have to
Muppet.
have part of a human in you to be a
There
Muppet.
was a dude who played Alf.
Not the whole human.
That's like saying Chewie would have been a Muppet.
Yeah, Chewie's not a...
He's a big Muppet.
No, he's not.
No, he's
Is Big
costume.
Bird a
Got all
Muppet?
those
Okay,
snookums.
Big
Yeah,
Bird
okay.
is a Muppet.
Yeah, I guess.
Correct?
He is a human.
No,
That
Big
is
Bird is
true.
a costume.
I feel like we've stumbled on this Muppet paradox that needs to be
There is a
written about.
Muppet
Like,
paradox.
what is...
There's a
Definition
Muppet
of a
moral
Muppet.
gray area, and we are
And
like
Big Bird and Chewie are in the
We are
Muppet more gray
we're
area.
trouncing all over it.
I feel like we need
Right.
like a Venn
Oh,
diagram.
my God.
Muppet, not Muppet, Big Bird.
Right?
Snookums has to be in there.
Chewie,
Snookums.
Big Bird, Elf.
Sweetums.
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 Somebody
Yeah.
corrected me on the
Oh.
thing. I kept calling them Snookums. It is Sweetums.
Oh, the big guy from Muppets, the huge.
We are talking about Muppets.
Yeah, Sweetums.
Because all I could think about was Sweetums, the bad candy corporation from Parks and Rec.
I think we might need another Timmy.
I'm sorry.
I think this one just about blew up.
All I want to do is see Tim fall out of his chair laughing.
This is what the show is about. The show is about nothing.
Do we know yet?
Everything. What did we
Wait,
So
decide?
not
here?
only do we have some nice interviews coming up, we have opportunity to talk to some of our group members on Facebook from their
Yes.
Funny Science Fiction page. And the great thing about that is we've got so many of those guys who are creators, and they're putting forth some awesome content.
Yeah,
and we'll have
many of you
opportunity
guys.
to discuss with them. And we're going to have an opportunity to have some really nice, well, we'll call them debates, but, here to talk about, like one of them could be who's going to win in a fight,
What makes him Muppet?
Data or Bender.
Right?
Alf
Data
or
or Bender?
Sweetums? Alf versus Big
Data
Bird.
or Bender?
In a fight, that's right.
I mean, the fact that you said data just confuses me.
Yeah, as you can tell, Tim knows nothing about Star Trek. So
No, I called him Data for a reason. I know his name is
There's a
Data.
hole in your Star Trek
We get it.
vocabulary.
There may have been a slight dig there towards Star Trek by calling him Data in the first place.
Yeah, we got it.
we have some work
You
to do.
were picking up what I was laying down. Good. All
No.
right.
Right.
But data is plural anyway, so he would be datum.
Oh no.
He
Data?
dies. Is he dated?
Could
Dated?
be.
I don't
No,
And
know.
if he married,
That's after that episode where he fell in love with it
And if-
and he was dated.
if he went on a date with Tatum O'Neal, he'd be dating Tatum. Anyway,
I don't know who Tatum O'Neal
Oh,
is.
she would be.
Ryan
would've dated
O'Neal's
Data.
daughter. This is from the 70s. Come on.
Your dad may have just dated
Who's-
himself.
who's
Paper
Ryan?
Moon. Paper
I love
Moon.
how you take like a 70s reference. I ask what it is. You provide an even older reference
Right?
for me to go with.
Right.
But don't
Ryan
you know
O'Neal.
Tatum? He's Brian's daughter.
Right.
Hold on.
45
I'm going to give you
All
an
right.
early 80s reference. Let me clarify this by giving you a late 60s, early 70s reference.
Yes.
I was there. I was even in the 50s
I
for
was
a few
there,
days.
man. I was in the 50s.
We're going to go back even farther. Don't worry.
You'll get it.
Well, some of the
You'll
other
be-
thing Go ahead. I'm sorry. Did
No,
I?
no, no, go for it.
Well, some of the other things we're going to talk about on the show is cool old sci-fi. I mean, I love old sci-fi. I love old stuff. I grew up in the 60s, 70s. To me, Doctor Who was a guy with a weird scarf and a really lame special effects department. So,
That was like six
Mike-
doctors in, by the way.
yeah.
What do you mean was?
I don't
Yeah.
think that's changed.
Yeah, so I don't know. There are a couple of the Doctor Who's since then I've enjoyed.
There's some good ones.
And I've come around a little bit. It's still a learning curve. And Nick's a bad wolf. We understand. So we have some things. So we've kind of touched on what our show is going to be about, what it's not going to be about, and how it's going to really be about nothing sometimes.
And
like
we're all
this
still
show.
majorly confused about it. But hey, whatever. We'll get there.
Yeah, so we're just going to have fun. And this is funny science fiction, so it's about humor related to science fiction, how it's kind of a subgenre that's been ignored. There's been some really shining examples of it, Galaxy Quest, and there's been some TV shows that are being more humorous. And there's been some really bad takes on it as well.
Star Trek.
Star Trek Below Decks I watched today. I'm sorry.
Did you not like it?
Sorry.
I like how Nate's personally offended by
Is
that.
I?
I wasn't saying it was like going to be great, but it was all right. It was good.
I would interview them and I would love it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are you not
Yeah.
I would have fun
entertaining?
with them.
You're
Okay.
entitled to your opinion.
It was
Again.
it was the
However wrong it
spunky
may be.
girl trope. The spunky girl trope trying really hard to be liked. And
Yeah.
I just kind of gotten
Yeah,
tired of
it
that
says
one.
that.
I got tired of that, like,
It's
with
not
5
in
minutes
his
into
era.
the show.
Yeah.
Were you hurt by a spunky girl trope?
No, but
Doesn't
Show
matter.
us where the spunky girl
all right,
trope.
70s
you.
reference, Mary Tyler Moore show, Lou Grant, I hate spunk. Anyways, only
Can you
people
give us?
my age
Can you
will get
clarify that by giving us an even older reference?
it. Yes. In 1913,
We're jumping on the Wayback Machine.
actually 1914,
The Wayback
just
Machine.
before they assassinated the Archduke Ferdinand, he was being spunky. So, moving right
the
along.
Black Hand, the Serbian terrorist group who killed him, actually were related
like-
to the original writers of Star Trek. No,
Right, and the spunky,
Tim is
no,
lost.
they
We
weren't.
lost him. We might need another.
Hey, hey, with the spunkies. Do you remember that one from the 60s?
Oh,
Yeah.
Anyways, bad dad jokes. So closing this discussion, we all agree this is about funny science fiction. I think that's what we've come down to. And that now
I'd
that
like a
we've,
caveat to that.
well,
And,
Funny
and, that
science
it's,
fiction
I-
and Nick backing
way too
the ambulance
expensive.
up into garages.
and it's nearly impossible for us all to stay on target. But other than that, we're doing great.
so once again, the title of this show is We Have Embarked on a Wonderful Mission.
Disembark.
But if we're leaving again, aren't we disembarking?
Here we go again.
All right, well, time for the squid to puke us back out. Goodbye, all.
I still want a dog.